The Nintendo Switch 2 has been in the rumor mill essentially since the Nintendo Switch released. Everyone was always wondering how much juice, how much life does this outdated hardware have? And every year people were saying this is the last year, this is the last year. 6 years have gone by and we still haven't got the successor to this outdated hardware. And I think for the most part, everyone's been okay with that because Nintendo hasn't relied on the heavy hitters that PlayStation and Xbox rely on. You know, they prove that they don't need a game like Call of Duty to have a very successful ecosystem. They bolstered it with their own imaginative, innovative, and all-out fun style games like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is the longest running game Nintendo's had pretty much. And it's just outstanding to see what this little underdog of a console has accomplished in its lifespan. But now, in the year 2023, the rumors for the next Switch successor are getting kind of out of hand. They're getting crazy. Sound almost too good to be true. Because Nintendo has always been the gaming company that makes games on lesser hardware. You don't go to Nintendo for the strength of the machine. You go for the strength of their games, like The Legend of Zelda, Mario, Metroid, etc. But now with these newest leaks, these newest rumors and articles reporting on the Nintendo Switch 2 being able to run things like The Legend of Breath of the Wild in 4K resolution, being able to run things like the Matrix demo on Unreal Engine 5. This newest console seems to be capable of running things close to par with Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. And this will be the first time since the Nintendo GameCube that Nintendo has tried to compete in the same level as far as like performance is concerned as PlayStation and as Xbox. And this has me very excited. I'm excited for different things I think than a lot of people are. So I kind of just want to shed some light on the things that I think the Switch 2 could be, and as far as like the potential of this machine. If you guys like this style of video, do me a favor and like this video. Please consider subscribing, as that does help me out tons. And let's not waste any more time and let's get into the crux of this video. Alright, first things first, let's talk about the Matrix demo that was reportedly running on the Nintendo Switch successor. The Matrix demo was a demo made in Unreal Engine 5, designed to showcase the strength of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 to get consumers an idea of what current gen, is capable of. And the fact that they were able to get this running on a Nintendo Switch successor mind blows a lot of people. And it mind blows me a little bit, but when I understand and analyze the report more, I don't think it's as far-fetched as a lot of people are making it out to be. First things first, Unreal Engine 5, a lot of people are looking at this as an impossibility on the next Nintendo Switch. But Unreal Engine 5 already runs on the current Nintendo Switch. If you look at Fortnite already runs the Unreal Engine 5. So again, I think a lot of people hear the word Unreal Engine 5 and they immediately think photorealism. They immediately think these like crazy graphics. And Unreal Engine 5 is just an engine to build games. It doesn't mean the games have to be photorealistic. For example, Bandai is publishing a game called Sandland, which is it's based off like an anime or a manga or whatever, and it does not look, hyper realistic. It looks very artsy. It looks very manga inspired, and it doesn't really showcase, the strength of Unreal Engine 5. So I think the idea of Unreal Engine 5 running on the Nintendo Switch successor just makes sense, seeing as the current Nintendo Switch already runs Unreal Engine 5 with Fortnite. So that's not too crazy. I think another thing that got people like a little mind blown was the fact that they're able to run specifically the Matrix demo, which is very photorealistic. The gameplay to cutscenes was insane. The AI like generated, traffic was insane. A lot of stuff going on that mind blows a lot of people. Now, when they say they got it running, I don't think they mean like playable or even feasible. Because if they were to say, wow, the Matrix demo was running on Nintendo Switch and it was phenomenal, it was amazing, it was crazy, it was, doable, then we have a conversation. Then we have something mind-blowing. But the fact that they were able to just say that it was running is a whole different story than saying, yes, this is feasible as what you would want the experience to be. You get what I'm saying? So it's just saying that the Nintendo Switch 2 is capable of Unreal Engine 5 and it has a lot more strength than a Nintendo Switch. But it doesn't mean the next Mario is going to be running on Unreal Engine 5 and the next Mario game is going to be, you know, photorealistic God of War style. It's not going to be that. And Nintendo isn't going to aim for that. So this brings me to the next point of the conversation, is the fact that Nintendo having this like super strong console or whatever the hell, stronger than they've ever had before, doesn't mean Nintendo is going to go balls to the wall creating the most hyper realistic, you know, versions of their games. That's not that's not Nintendo's stick. That's not what Nintendo does, and they know this. So why even develop a console with that strength? Well, mainly performance, mainly get your games running optimally, mainly getting your games, you know, up to par with current gen, etc. But if we're talking more, why would they, you know, go out of their way to make a console stronger than what they intend to use? This is for third party, because Nintendo Switch was a beacon for third parties towards the end of the console generation, as far as like porting over their, you know, last year games, current gen games, etc. But a lot of third parties are very late to the party. They started porting games very late to the Nintendo Switch, and a lot of them were really upset that they didn't get in earlier. Now, Nintendo Switch 2, you know damn well a lot of third parties were trying to get in on the ground floor. A lot of them were probably bugging Nintendo, let's get in on this. We want to make X and Y and Z games for this. Nintendo Switch 2, or Nintendo Switch successor, whatever you want to call it, running these, you know, more high-tech DLSS style technology, I bet is more so for the third parties than it is for actual Nintendo. Because again, Nintendo doesn't need the power. Nintendo doesn't need to have, you know, cutting-edge graphics or technology, because they have the innovation of their games, they have the innovation of their team and the talent needed to make games fun, where you look past things like performance and graphics. Third party, on the other hand, if they want to put games on the Nintendo Switch, have to make tons of compromises, have to optimize the game like crazy, and it's kind of a head scratcher as to whether or not it's worth it to put games on a Nintendo Switch. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch has proved itself where, yes, it's worth the rigmarole, it's worth the headaches and trouble to get a game running on Nintendo Switch. But it's never their first option. It's normally, you know, years later, way later, or it's like the worst version of that game. Nintendo probably just making a stronger console, not just for them to run their games better, but also just to get more third parties, you know, interest, more third parties trying to put their games day and date on the Nintendo Switch, to create an ecosystem where if you're a Nintendo player, if you're playing on the Nintendo Switch, you're not, you know, worrying about, man, I wish I had the PlayStation 5 to play X, Y, and Z games, or I have to go out, have a Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 5. You can have the Nintendo Switch and be content that you're getting, you know, the biggest and best games day and date alongside your Nintendo's games, alongside your first party Nintendo games like Mario, like Metroid, and like Zelda. Now, if I don't think Nintendo is going to be the one primarily utilizing the full strength of this next console, why would I care, or why would I be excited, or, you know, again, just why do I care? Because I already have a PlayStation 5 that's going to run the current gen games, it's going to run the, you know, biggest and best games alongside the PlayStation games, etc. And I have my Nintendo Switch is already running my Nintendo games. Why do I care if Nintendo Switch goes, or the Nintendo Switch successor goes above and beyond with performance? Because honestly, if Nintendo was a little bit of a stronger console, they would be more of a threat to PlayStation. They'd be more of a threat to Xbox. Because right now, if the Xbox Activision deal taught us one thing, it's that PlayStation does not consider Nintendo as a competitor to their market, to their industry, to their side of this niche that is gaming. PlayStation looks at Nintendo as like their own corner of the, you know, gaming industry, and they don't step into the ring with PlayStation out of fear of getting knocked out, etc. Now, the Nintendo Switch has proven that it's probably the most popular gaming console currently, you know, out there in the market right now. So if they were also on par or similar, closer to the PlayStation 5 Xbox Series, then yes, PlayStation would be forced to recognize them as a threat to their industry, as a threat to their chokehold that they currently have right now. And that'll force PlayStation to double down and start, you know, stepping up, releasing games quicker and in more quick succession, because Nintendo, we all know, is a powerhouse in gaming. Again, we just need PlayStation to recognize that, Xbox to recognize that, because if you're able to buy a console that runs the Marios and Zeldas, but also run the biggest and best third-party games, that is an elite console in my opinion. If you're gonna stack that up against what PlayStation's offering right now, virtually nothing, minus the third parties, or Xbox, Starfields and stuff like that, but also their third parties, the Nintendo Switch is definitely a shinier piece. It's definitely looking a lot more luxurious. It's definitely looking more like a day one buy, or I'm gonna buy this in lieu of the PlayStation 5 or in lieu of the Xbox Series X. Ultimately, the Nintendo Switch successor being as strong as supposedly it is, as it being reported, gets me very excited, because I'm excited to see a more competitive, a more aggressive, console space where PlayStation can't sit back on their laurels, where Xbox has to make do on their promises, or else Nintendo is just going to devour them, because we know Nintendo is going to release games at a cadence unlike the PlayStation, unlike the Xbox Series. And currently, right now, Xbox and PlayStation rely heavily on third party, on making exclusive deals, on making, marketing pushes for these third parties to kind of bolster up their libraries, bolster up their platforms, and make them more of, you must buy this, instead of the Nintendo or instead of the other console. If Nintendo can step in and also pull some of those marketing deals, pull some of those exclusivities, and also just have those games in general on their console alongside their own first party, releasing at a cadence that Xbox and PlayStation can only dream of releasing games at, as well as the portable feature, the play it anywhere, that makes Nintendo a damn near perfect console. And I mean, it's just gonna make the industry as a whole a better place for the consumer. It's gonna make the industry as a whole a better place for talent, game industries, and just gaming in general. And that's what gets me very excited. Anyways, you guys, those are my final thoughts on the Nintendo Switch successor, at least of these reports and these leaks, etc. Let me know down below what you guys think, and with all that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video.